pretend that we
like we just logged on.
yeah. How are we gonna start it?
Well, we've been away for a while. Last time the three of us were together for one of these was right after the Game 7 loss to the Montreal Canadiens in the first
Did
round.
we do one after that?
No, I don't think so.
I can't remember if we did.
I thought we did one. There was plans to do one.
Well, I know. I don't know if it ever came to fruition.
Yeah, I don't think so. There was a lot of well, I mean, summer being what it is. First and foremost, summer is a terrible time to be podcasting anyway. When
oh my god,
hockey,
yes.
Because everyone's sick of it by the time the playoffs are over. Everyone's had their own little break in one way or another. But I think by getting it going again now, we're still in our first season. Our next season won't start until puck drop in October. Okay. So still season 1 of the DSC podcast with your hosts, Kylie Murrin, Chad Newman, and myself, Ryan Gates. But we've been away for more or less a couple months, I guess, close on it. We haven't been completely dead. We did do some pre-recording. We got a guest pre-recorder. We'll be releasing that one a little bit. We'll talk about it some more another time. But we haven't been completely down and out, but we took our time and stepped away for a little while to gather our thoughts and relax. So what have you guys been up to? What have you guys been doing this summer?
Work.
How exciting.
Yeah, never had a very big summer, honestly. I never, at least. I don't know about you guys.
Nah, kids, work.
Same.
Got a puppy.
Oh, right, you did.
Got a puppy.
Famous puppy.
Softball. Yeah. Coaching some baseball. Some kids novice baseball. That's pretty much
fun.
It. Not much out of town. A little bit.
Chasing young fella around to soccer tournaments, I feel like every weekend, but wouldn't change it for the world.
Nope. We did a little holiday, did some staycation, stayed in Newfoundland, of course. And we did a couple weeks down over the line, then Splash and Putt, and then down as far as Notre Dame Bay, out to Little Bay Islands, where my family has a cabin. Speaking of Little Bay Islands, we do have a guest lined up. He's planning to come on, originally from Little Bay Islands, moved away, been coaching hockey on the mainland for years. But he's a native Newfoundlander, Rex Tucker. So hoping to get on the podcast now sometime in season 2. Been talking to Rex. He's been running the hockey school in Alberta for decades. So he's got lots of great stories, but he's also got the Newfoundland connection. He wants to come and have a chat with us. So
that's fun.
Cool. Yeah, well, another interesting line to pick, right? But yeah, we did a little trip down over the line, and other than that, I was much the same as Chad, coaching a bunch of softball with kids and just kind of chilling out. So
taking it easy.
Yep. But anyway, guys, enough about us and our boring lives. We got to give a big shout out to our sponsor, who's still hanging tough here, PHG Sports in Ontario. Yep, they're back doing their thing. Thankfully, survived wave 2 or 3 or 4, or whatever they're into in Ontario, and they're back doing their thing in the Costco warehouses. So if you're interested as to where they are, make sure to check out PHG Sports on Facebook. They got up to date posts there as to which Costco's you can check them out at for your hand signed merchandise. PHG Sports, where the pros sign. So without further ado, I guess let's get that intro running. Titter tatter, let's get at her.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so here we are. This is
our stretch.
Anybody want to take a guess at what episode it is? Hang on now. Let's check that before we even start.
All right, yeah, days.
26.
26.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Here we are. Episode 26 of the Deep Psych Selly podcast. By the way, episode 25 was the Jeff Toohey episode. That's the last one we released. Our last guest episode. And that was just myself and Chad and Mr. Toohey, I believe. Was just 3 of us, Chad? I think. I don't think Patty was in on that one, was it?
No.
Gotta love Patty
for that one.
Oh, good old Patty.
Our fill-in.
Patty's such a great fill-in, and I even feel bad calling him a fill-in at this point. He's been on the podcast now 3 or 4 times. Right? He's like the unofficial. I'd give him the unofficial 4th host. That's Joe Bowen, right? He's the unofficial Joe. 4th host.
We gotta get Joe back on here too.
Patty gets the also starring in the credits.
Also starring.
Not just starring, it's just also starring.
Also. Potential Sorry.
That's right.
Patty watches all of our episodes, so hopefully you'll hear a little shout out to him. So no, Patty was on with another one that we pre-recorded over the summer, so you'll hear about that sooner than later. But yeah, Jeff Toohey's episode is our most downloaded episode of all time, which is great,
Super cool.
very cool
Yeah.
because Jeff, and I'm gonna make a dig at Jeff, and hopefully he hears it because while it wasn't widely viewed, it was one of our lowest views on YouTube. It was our most downloaded audio podcast. So my only conclusion I can draw is that Jeff is ugly, right?
Or maybe it's just all you guys.
Well,
I'm
maybe,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Could
maybe,
be.
maybe the lady was
just-
drawing people in here. I don't know.
That's the point I was trying to
I
get at.
can
but
see
I'm
what you were getting at
totally,
there.
totally kidding here,
Yeah.
but
What a dick move that was. No, but seriously, though,
Sorry, Jeff.
The Jeff Tooley episode is more than doubled. Our up until that point, our most listened to episode was our last one together, the autopsy episode where we talked about the loss. So that was our
Yeah.
most downloaded episode to date. And then Jeff came on and over doubled that with a bunch of great stories about Ty Domi.
God love them.
Just time with the Peterborough Pete's, all that good stuff. So guys, if you haven't listened to that one, I've listened to it now
Go check
twice
it out.
myself. It is
Yeah,
a
it's really
great
good.
listen. And Jeff was recently hired by the Florida Panthers. He's now their OHL scout in Ontario. So he's now
Cool.
working for the Panthers.
Way to go,
So
Jeff.
yeah,
And also going to be a return guest, I do believe, at some point.
at some
Well,
point
I would love to meet him, so
well,
definitely get him back.
if we can ever
Yeah.
get this trip to Ontario that we all so badly talk about all the time, where we all go,
Yep.
we've got some great
Mhm.
stops now to make along the way to visit some of our new
Definitely.
friends. So yeah, no, big shout out to Jeff, and the awesome content he provided was just. It was, and he's such a great guy, such a great, like he was like, oh, sorry guys, I got another story. Sorry guys, I got another story. We're like, no, don't be sorry. We're just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
And
Please
it
do.
was a fantastic episode and connected to everybody. So,
Nice.
so yeah, episode 25. But that's not what we're here to talk about. That's a little
Yeah.
plug for one of our previous shows. Episode 26 is today, and I don't
Yep.
even know if we're gonna name this one. I'll have to think of something clever later. But
We'll come up with something, I'm sure.
but yeah, we're into September now, so we're into almost preseason hockey. When's the first preseason game?
Training
4
camp
days
starts
away.
Thursday.
Yeah, Saturday is the first game. I can't wait.
and
Like
Thursday is
Adam
training
keeps
camp.
saying
Yep.
because my birthday's Sunday. He's like, she's more excited for hockey than she is her birthday.
I mean, that's every year.
What a stark
That's
change of
literally it.
opinion from 2 months ago.
Right? No, literally though. I said I'm ready to be heard again. Let's do it. Let's go.
That's right.
Like 2 months ago, she was tearing stuff off the walls and putting sticky
Yeah.
buttons down on all leaf stuff.
I remember that. I
And,
remember that.
And now
Yeah,
she's
that
Hanging
was a
Habs gear everywhere.
few too many cold shots. Never, Chad. That would never
Yeah.
happen.
I've seen your picture
no,
today.
I'll-
My favorite season is hockey season on your Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's back.
That's good.
That's my favorite sweater. Ben's mom actually made that for me, and I was like,
Oh, awesome.
"That's deadly." So
Mm.
I love that sweater. So I busted out again the other day.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, like I just had to kind of block it out of my brain for a bit. Like I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to talk about it, and the only way to do that was just like I just moved that sign just out there, and it just was out of sight, out of mind. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
'Cause
That time
was
heals all.
That was my approach to it.
So,
Yep.
with all that in mind, what I want to ask you guys, I'm going to let Chad lead in with this because I'm really curious as to his take on this. While I'm back and I'm good to go for another season, and like I said, the things I've survived as a Leafs fan, there's nothing now going to devastate me at this point. Game 7, Stanley Cup final loss, I'm okay. You know, like there's nothing,
Yeah.
there's
Take
nothing
it.
about. No, there's literally. I mean, we've seen everything, and I mean, we lost to a Zamboni driver. We've done it all,
Oh, yeah.
right? So
Ottawa collapse
Cursed.
last year.
exactly.
Cursed.
Given all the things that we've
Yeah.
been through, and given the team and the relatively uneventful offseason, where do you think the team sits now going into this season compared to last? Better
You
or
say
worse?
I don't know. You say uneventful, but I mean, you got a lot of departures, a lot of people coming
Yeah.
in.
True.
I agree.
So, I mean, you always said like the way Dubas is doing it with the rotating roles that they always have, and it's always these short-term, cheap options because that's what he's got to do to keep everyone together. It's going to be interesting to see how these extra role guys come in to fill Hyman's absence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at, and I think that's going to be the biggest point for me. If you got to have those workhorses, and what's his name, Bunting,
Yeah.
going to be doing it, or is Nick Ritchie going to be able to do what Zach Hyman has been able to do?
My
You know.
my problem with the whole thing is that when I look at our chart, our standings coming into the season, I'll throw it up there on the screen for you actually what the projected lineup is for the team because It's just
You know what? I think they're going to do great, but it's just I got to see how before I
you guys
really
seeing
give.
that on the screen.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So this is more or less the consensus as to where people say if no changes are made as of today, where we're going to start with our starting lineup first game in October. And they got Nick Ritchie penciled in the Zach Hyman spot,
yeah,
which is the obvious
Mhm.
thing to say because yeah, he was the left winger in, Zach Hyman was the left winger out.
Yeah.
But when I compare Nick Ritchie to Zach Hyman, I mean, I've looked at it and I've looked
I
at
don't
it.
see it.
I can't help but think we're a lot weaker on left wing, not just because of Zach Hyman, but the loss of Galchenyuk as well,
Yeah,
who was
definitely.
a second line left winger in this league all day long, which blows my mind that he haven't got a job right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, you pull those two guys off left wing and replace them with Nick Ritchie and Michael Bunting.
yeah.
In my opinion, the team is far weaker coming into this season than last. I don't know where you
It's
guys
kind
sit
of
on it.
stinky. Like it's
I
kind of
don't know, but you know what the thing
I
is
don't like
though?
it.
How far did we get again? Right.
Mm.
So change got to happen, and this is significant change. Nick Ritchie is a different style of player than Zach Hyman. He's a
That's
lot
true.
meaner.
That's
He's
true.
bigger, but I
Maybe
mean,
that's
I
what
don't
we
know if he's
need.
as skilled in those things. Does he have the heart that Hyman had? That's a big thing that I find is
Mm.
missing from the team is that competitive drive and that will to win. And I mean, you got a lot of guys there, like if you want to talk about say how Montreal did with all these lower level guys, somewhat are able to get it done. That's what I'm seeing in the team. So you have a lot of these guys like Kemp, if he stays together with it, and you get some guys with the Marley's going to try to push him out. So
Yeah,
I mean,
like I mean,
I think competition might be there. I hope.
Nick
I think it might be.
Robertson is not even there, honestly. And that's someone who I think might give a couple people a run for their money. Just
Yeah,
he's a workhorse. I mean, he is small and at this point we've seen he's kind of injury prone. Now I know they've kind of been fluky injuries and whatnot,
but he's going to beat out
and
like,
he's a left winger.
but he's got to
So
beat out already like
a lot of
solidified
people.
NHL roster guys.
Yeah.
Like
What
So
Kempf
about
and
is
Pace and Bunting,
what
these are all NHL players.
what
Robertson left or right wing? I can't remember.
left wing, I'm pretty sure. But I like Will bet my life on it. He's a left winger, but I could be wrong.
I can't
But
remember. Which one it is.
I was just gonna say something. I just completely blacked out. Oh, what position does Gusev play? I know he's only on a PTO, but like, is he left or right? I have to look. He's on a PTO.
Robertson's
He's a
left.
left winger. He's a left winger. So
Yep.
and
Makes sense
Robertson's
for him
left
to
as
be in a
well.
PTO, yeah.
Yeah. So we have a few left wingers coming
can't-
in. So
I
that
can't-
just really makes it a toss up at this point. It all depends on training camp and these next few preseason games.
Hockey Night in Canada's favorite player in the world is Cole Caulfield, and when I see Caulfield playing at the level he did in the playoffs and doing what he did for that team, and I see Nick Robertson sitting basically somewhere between the
press
minors
box.
and the big leagues,
Yeah.
I just can't envision a team where he doesn't get a shot with Matthews and Marner. I don't know what would be the
Honestly.
right.
I
Have
think it's one of those
you-
cases. It'd be a waste to try to make him a third line player and earn the way up because he's just not going to be that. You're going to waste good time.
Honestly, even Ilya Mikheyev, like he hasn't had a huge chance, so to speak, up there. Like
and he was
if
unhappy.
if I remember correctly, he started the season last year with John Tavares because I remember a really nice goal from him, like a nice little play between the two of those guys. But I feel like my biggest complaint with Keefe, and this is going to be his first full season as a head coach. People need to be like remember that. But there we go. Nikita goes up. But see, every time you do this, and I forget what I'm saying.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's his first full season as a head coach. But what kind of got on my nerves last year about him, and I'm afraid it's going to happen again this year, just because we have so many new faces, he's constantly shuffling up the lines. He's not giving them time to create any kind of chemistry. As soon as they do create it, it's like, boom, you're bumped off the line, and now someone else is there. And it's just like, pick a lineup and stick with it. Unless there's an injury or something, or someone
Yeah.
completely shits the bed. But
The
you know
inevitable
what I mean?
injuries.
I know like the first month or so, but honestly, preseason, that's what that's for, is to get those kinks worked out. So that don't happen during the regular season.
Yeah.
I don't know, just me, my opinion, but it got right on my nerves last year that every time it was like, oh, don't know what the lineup's going to be tonight because it could be God knows who. I don't know. It's just kind of annoying. But
You want
interesting thing
consistency.
yes.
It's hard.
with Gusev up on the board there. The interesting thing, I look at his numbers, and I'm looking at his. I mean, he's a veteran of the KHL, clearly, right? But the KHL is not an easy league to score in. It's simply
No.
not. I mean, that's what everyone says about it. It's just not an easy league to score in. And the guy put up, look, his last 3 years in the KHL, 71, 62, 82 points, a lot of assists.
He's
And
not old.
Mikheyev was what? He was a 45-point guy. Mikheyev was.
So we might
Yeah,
have another.
KHL?
he wasn't Gusev when it came to numbers. No.
No, my God, no.
But now, that being said, Nikita Gusev not only is a veteran of the NHL or the KHL, he's also a veteran age-wise. You can see there he's 29 years old
He's
and small.
29.
So he's a small winger with a lot of experience, a lot of games under his belt, not a lot of NHL games. And the NHL games he played were on a bad team in Jersey. Only had a walk
played
in
for the
the
Panthers when he had
briefly
11 games played.
So,
5
I don't know.
points. Not bad.
It's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, he can easily challenge for a job. I mean, right now, like we said earlier, I mean, we had guys in our bottom four like Cass or Case or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to pronounce it either.
David
Yeah,
Camp,
Case.
you know what I mean?
Camp.
Case.
Yeah.
Bunting. Semyonov.
And what about the other guy too that we picked up from San Jose, the one with the smoking hot girlfriend, the one the goalie girl.
Oh,
Curtis Gabriel.
Curtis Gabriel.
Isn't that funny how everyone
Yeah.
knows him for that?
Yeah, it's hilarious because
Besides
I
being a
actually knew
nut.
about that
Yeah.
before like people posted it online, and I was
Yeah,
like,
me
that's so funny that they're only figuring that out now.
Yeah.
And it's because
you
I knew
checked
about
out-
her before I knew about him, honestly. But yeah, I always I
Yeah.
followed her on Instagram. You know, I don't really use Instagram, but
Did you happen to see this
a female
Curtis
hockey
Douglas guy?
player. But
Yes. Did you happen to see this Curtis Douglas guy that we
who's
have?
that? What?
It's a guy that they picked up in the offseason.
Who
He's
are
a
these
center.
people?
Yeah, but he was a 2018 Dallas draft pick. Anyway, they're looking at him as a fourth line center. The dude's like 6'9", 250.
What's his name? You
Douglas.
said?
Curtis Douglas.
Curtis
Yeah,
Douglas.
It's like
Curtis
6'9",
Douglas.
250.
Oh, wow.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
I mean, if there's anything that's changed over this offseason, the Leafs are most definitely a tougher team.
They got a lot more tenacity for sure.
And
Curtis
Dubas has acknowledged the
Douglas.
fact that that's been an issue.
Yes.
He's not shying away and saying, "Oh well, it's this, it's that, it's this." No, he's saying, "Listen, we weren't tough enough." And
I don't know. When the kids were young, they were pretty soft. They tried to just
Yeah.
surround them with skill.
And it's just no. I don't know if you guys caught the podcast that Dubas was on a week or two ago. Did you
I
see
did
that?
not.
yeah,
He was on I don't know whose podcast it is, so forgive me for not remembering the name. But anyway, I just remember one thing that kind of stuck out to me that he said. I didn't get to watch it all because it was like a bit long. But he said the interviewer asked him if there was anything from the what would you say, end of season talks. Why is my camera right slow? See that? Anyway, he said, is there anything from the end of season interviews, the exit interviews, that you might be able to tell us that we haven't already heard? And he said one thing pretty much, now this is in verbatim, obviously, what he said, but pretty much that like they actually showed accountability. And he asked them, why did we lose this series? And for the first year, I guess he meant the core, we'll say, they took accountability in themselves and they knew what they needed to do, and they just did not get the job done. And to me, that speaks that there is finally some maturity maybe growing on that team. And at the end of the day, they're still kids. They're 23, I think Matthew just turned.
Oh,
or
Matthews just turned
24,
24 the other day.
right? Yeah, like
it's crazy.
remember when you were 24? Like
No.
obviously
Not
you
really.
no, but you were not the same person then as you are now.
No.
Or even you would have been 5 years later after, like even at 29 or 30, you're not who you were back then, or at least I know I wasn't. So we shall see.
Yep.
And then Marner posts this encrypted tweet. Did you see that? The video
Yeah.
of the belief in the boys and stuff like that.
Yep. And he's, and he's
Interesting.
talks about being an American, the criticism, and he wouldn't change it
Mhm.
because he, so
Yeah, if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's actually pretty good what he did.
For someone who stepped away from hockey for a while, you certainly know a lot of what happened this summer.
No, this is just over the last like 2 weeks. This stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Literally, back me up here, Chad. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, literally, it's been like since August. I mean, you know yourself, the hockey world was pretty quiet since like,
Yeah.
well, it's only been really the last
They had
couple
the
weeks.
draft day and free agent day, and that was pretty much it.
But that was it. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it.
There you
So
go. Kylie's back into hockey. Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
always. I think I have a can of Coca-Cola every
I got to show you guys something funny.
podcast.
As I was scrolling, the PTO list came out on, I can't remember what it was, like the hockey news or something. Somebody releases it down, like, don't matter who. So I'm scrolling fast. I'm like, who's on PTOs, blah, blah, blah. I'm scrolling past the Seattle Kraken, and I was like, what? I'm going to get my chance. And then I scrolled back. I was like, oh. No.
Oh my God, look at that. Yeah. Brent Gates and then Ryan Lohan, whoever that
I
is.
know, right?
I was like, so close.
That's me when I see the name Kylie, because it's just so uncommon.
Yeah.
So if I'm ever reading something, like it stands right out to me, kind of, I guess, kind of like Gates would to you, perhaps.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know
not
you never see it,
common.
right? Unless someone's talking
Yeah.
about IBM. It's like,
Yeah, Bill Gates.
not
But
me,
yeah,
right?
I mean,
That's
look at the
interesting.
Devils up there with VC and Gauthier.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, taking over our old Leafs, and I seen, Tyler Ennis is trying out. Like he could be on your top line.
But he's always going to be a pickup, and that's who he is. That one.
I
Yeah.
always liked him. I've always been a fan of him. I mean, he's
Yeah.
tiny, but he
was always good.
user. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was. All right, let's talk about Josh Hosang. I do not know much about this kid at all. Let's look up his stats, hey?
Yeah, go for it. I don't have them downloaded, I don't think. No, I don't.
No.
No.
Every time I switch
You're
my
going to see
browser,
some
my
AHL stats.
camera goes really weird.
Hosang,
on
I
the
mean,
phone.
the knock on Hosang is that he's Nazem Kadri 2.0 in his maturity level at his age, right? People
Yeah.
saying, he's not quite there as an individual. And we all know how important that is in the NHL when people talk about, we've had scouts on now, several, talking about how important character is in this league and how important the GMs view it. So the fact that they're even giving Hosang a look, I think is great. But I mean, that being said, if you'd have told me 4 years ago that Josh Hosang and Alex Galchenyuk were both going to be on PTOs this year, I'd be like, no, bye. So obviously, just something is changing in this league, right? It's getting younger and faster, and neither one of those guys are old or slow. So there is something about Eric Stahl hasn't got a job yet. Eric Stahl, he's not without hockey, Nope.
I mean, I would take him over Thornton. Like, no
take him
offense
over
to Joe
Nikita
Thornton.
Gusev.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess
what are we
so. Well,
doing?
no, he's much older than
And
him,
Stahl
though, but
I guess they're trying to get speed.
perhaps. But I'm just reading it here because, I honestly don't know much about this Hosang kid, but this is just on the LeafsNation.com, so somebody wrote this. But whether it was because his confidence and swagger rubbed many influential people within hockey culture the wrong way, or more nefarious reasons that underlie a deeper issue of race in the sport, Hosang never really got a longer look despite a small sample size suggesting that he belongs in the NHL. And he may finally get the opportunity he's been longing for after the Leafs offered him a PTO.
I mean, kind of like an Evander Kane going on. He's saying like just a big personality. It's hard to handle, and he attributed to being a bit different than everybody else. It just doesn't get accepted.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, well,
but you can't be a problem in the locker room or on the ice, and that's just it.
Well, this
practice.
is kind of
he was missing practices and shit, right? Like
that won't fly with the Leafs.
That's
and I mean, if anybody, no, that's true.
But that was an arm issue, right? I know that's not acceptable, but I think his was an arm issue.
Same with Cappy that time. I mean,
allegedly.
At the end of the day, we're all human, and so are they. But how often does it happen? We don't know. Like, if this is something that happened more than once, and it's like, obviously it had to be for them to bench him that day or whatever they did. I forget what his.
I can't remember what happened to the monitor later after.
Yeah.
No, well,
we'll see now.
But
well, he hits the ice on Thursday. See how it goes. I mean, he's got the skill.
Training camp opens tomorrow, don't it? Oh, I guess they get their physicals and stuff first.
I watched.
Probably.
Did either one of you guys catch either one of the rookie tournament games?
I haven't watched the games. I've just been checking out clips
and stuff. Man, I watched one against the Blues the other night, and I got to say, Seymour Dergachensev looks good.
Mm,
Very,
mhm.
very
Yeah,
good.
SGA is having a good
I've
time.
I've
Mhm.
liked him ever since I've seen him play here for the Growlers.
Yeah.
I've always
No,
liked him.
we won't see him with the Growlers, I don't think, anymore. He's
No,
gonna get a
definitely
job
not.
with the Marlies at
Yep.
least. Robertson, same
Same.
deal, right? At least.
What about this kid that we picked up from Notre Dame? Notre Dame? Alex Steves.
Steve's, yeah. I
Oh, yeah,
think he's
no.
out. Yeah, I think he's doing okay too. Yeah.
He got injured, I think, in one of the last games or something. I think I read shoulder, maybe. I could be wrong. But yeah, a lot of people from what I've read online, like he looks like a man among boys.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Yep.
He does look good. I'll give him that. And I'll tell you, a guy
Mhm.
who's taken some major steps too is Growler alumni now, Joey Dusek.
Duzak is
Mm.
excellent.
Duzak, yeah,
played well
Duzak,
last
yeah.
year with the Growlers, or well, what time he had,
Marlies.
and the Marlies, and man, oh man, on the ice the other night, he didn't look at the place at all. He looked right at home, steady, confident, shooting the puck. Like, I don't know, it's
Now,
gonna
if
be.
he keeps this up, he's gonna get a good look going ahead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the good thing is with preseason, they will all get a chance. You know what I mean? And that's what's exciting because it might be their only chance
Yeah.
to put that jersey
Well,
on and play an NHL game at the
We're,
end of the
we're,
day.
we're, we're tiptoeing around the issue here, but the Growlers are back.
Yes,
Yeah.
finally.
And I was
So-
about to say that. And
Have faith
since
in
we last,
Dean.
Yeah.
Since we last podcasted, our good friend Dean McDonald, the owner of the Growlers, past guest, by the way. If you're looking for info on Dean, he's the man. I love Dean. I was talking to Dean not long ago, actually. But yeah, Dean's been able to come to a lease agreement with the city of St. John's, 3 more years at least, and
At
he makes the
least.
statement that the Growlers are here to stay, here forever. So he said that in one of the at the fan party, which I didn't get to go to, which I was rotted.
I didn't
But,
know about it.
I popped in for about 20 minutes. I had to get to Jameson's last baseball game.
I was working.
I just the post, I guess, in the group just didn't come up on my
Yeah.
news feed. And I started seeing
Yeah.
pictures of it and I'm like, shoot. No, it is
No,
what
that's
it
pretty
is.
cool.
But
Yeah.
looked like a fun time. But it's exciting. And then he announced that the Edge are back too. We just don't know.
Well, they will be
where.
just.
I
Yeah.
forgot-
Yeah, we don't
forgot
know
Lawrence
where.
Gilman was there too at the party, right? I'm like,
Yes, that was kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
come on to rub some shoulders with Gilman. Come on. we get-
Did you see
Yeah.
Did you see the video they put
I
on yesterday or whatever it was? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I knew he was there, and that was actually super cool.
his-
So that makes
Yeah.
me feel like they're gonna come back for training camp again soon,
I can't imagine
Yeah.
why they wouldn't. I
right?
really-
Why not? COVID is the only reason why right now, I would think.
And it's really funny that the things that he said in his speech echoed the things which Dean said about St. John's when Dean was on our
Mhm.
podcast. Remember, Dean said the reason the Leafs love St.
Yep.
John's is because it's a hockey town.
Mhm.
Players are held accountable. They're treated like professional athletes, and they are.
Oh my God, you see them at the mall, like they're getting autographs. Like people are going up asking for autographs to these
Yep.
people. I
Absolutely.
mean, it's ECHL league, but here
Oh,
No, he
they
means
don't
it. They mean what
care.
they say,
The kids
right?
don't care. They don't know any different.
Anybody want to hazard a guess as to who the captain of the Growlers is going to be? We know a couple players are coming back.
Oh my God, it got to be Todd, right?
Irving? Yeah.
It got to be Todd.
You think? I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad choice because I love the
No.
guy.
But who
I
else
love
is
the guy.
coming back?
But-
Well, it's
The only
Um,
reason
the
why
other
I'd say
guy as well,
Todd's
right?
not going to happen because Todd doesn't get to play every game. That's why I would say he wouldn't be.
Why doesn't he get to play every game?
Well, he's one of their fringe players.
He's an extra forward.
Oh,
right
okay, kind of
Or
thing.
at least he
All right,
was. We'll see where he fits this year.
yeah, but who are the other guys that are coming back? The two.
Super Noobs.
Yeah, what's their name?
Yeah, but there's some with the Marlies, right?
yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I mean, they
I guess if
pulled
they
the
don't make the
shocker.
Marlies.
They
Yeah.
pulled the
Yeah,
shocker
they
in
left their
that flat suit.
team.
Yeah.
That was awesome, and they played
Sorry,
together
guys.
too, and they leave together. It's kind of.
Well,
Marcus
I'm on
Power
their
and
fan
Zach
page.
O'Brien, by the way. So we're
That's
talking
who.
about.
Thank
Super
you.
Noobs. So yeah,
Super
I'm on
Noobs.
their fan page quite a bit, and there's still a bit of chatter going on in the comment section. I'll hit the translate and read the German comments. And you know what? There is a few fans over there now. Like it seems to be getting louder, saying, you know what? This is where the guys are from. Like, are you going to blame them for
Right.
going over there for probably more money and like living out their dream for however many years they got left of their career? Like,
They
yeah,
only
be
went.
upset, but be happy
It's just
to have
COVID.
because they left.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
It's
Well,
just
they were the
I
best
agree
players
that
on the
what
team, you know.
and the way that they did it though was kind of like shady. I guess. I mean, we don't really
And
know what happened, but it
in
just
my
kind of seemed
opinion,
like
I think they're
they
level
pieced
above
out.
Dell too. I think they're at least
Yes. they owned that league. Like I said, they're the best players on
Yeah.
the team by a mile.
Oh,
And
definitely.
they're better players than where they were,
Probably
but it's great.
kings,
They were
right?
still skating and still doing their thing. And I think I'm not going to put words in anyone's mouth, but I think when their playing careers are over, there'll be life after hockey for two of those guys, if not in St. John's, within that Maple Leafs organization for sure. They're both
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
far too intelligent players to not have a future in the organization. You can be sure that had a bearing on their decision to play back
Yeah.
home too.
Oh
They
my
got a
God,
few years left.
definitely.
But yeah,
Good few years left of competing too.
but yeah, Todd Skirving, man. We got to get Todd on now sometime.
Definitely getting him
Yeah.
on.
Before the
the
season
season would
starts,
be
for
great.
sure.
Just to
Yeah.
I want to talk to Todd some more about he did some coaching during COVID. What he's been up to. I keep in touch with
BC,
him
yeah.
mildly. But yeah, no, he's an interesting cat, and he's definitely a fan favorite. I'm probably going to.
Oh, everywhere he goes.
I've been waiting because I don't take buying a jersey lightly. I mean, I don't take buying a jersey lightly ever in my life. That there was the easiest decision I ever made. I always said that if he ever came to Toronto, that would be my first real jersey purchase. Everything else I've had is like half fake from China. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I bought that at training camp when the Leafs were here. But like I said, I've been holding off on a Growlers jersey because I just wanted to know for certain the team was staying. And I wanted to know for certain which player I wanted repped on my back when I go to the games. And I've already decided it's Skirving because the things he's done
Yeah.
in our
I
community,
agree.
the things he's done on the ice, off the ice, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm going to be investing this year in my very first Growlers Skirving jersey because, like I said, I bought this
I
hat. It's
have-
like the first hat that was ever released.
I have a Growlers hoodie that I would usually wear to the games, but I actually bought the Growlers and the Leafs blue one that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
made. It's actually
Right.
super
Yeah.
nice.
That's really cool. Yeah.
St. John's.
Yeah,
I got
it didn't come like you couldn't get it customized. So that was actually, I was going to say the same thing, Ryan, that I was wondering like I was waiting to see who was be coming back this year, like any of the returning guys or something. And,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was thinking when Todd put on his Facebook that he was coming back, I was like,
Well,
okay.
They've signed. I can't
Decision
remember his
made
name,
easy.
but maybe Chad will probably know because Chad's all towny. He's our towny scout. Who's the
yeah.
kid that they signed from town?
Oh, Nathan Noel.
Noel. There you go.
Oh, cool.
I had the
yeah.
pleasure of playing against him last year at Yetman's Arena. He's
Is
very
he any
good.
good? Yeah.
So is he better?
Well, compared to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, he wanted to stay local. That's what I heard from one of his friends. That he really, really wanted to play hockey here. I think that was a big thing for him playing. I think last he was in the Chicago system, and he had a hard time finding a place there. And I think it was pretty much, I guess, personally, he wanted to play at home.
Homesick.
And yeah, just
Nothing wrong with
just you know what, you're still playing professional hockey at home.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that. And
Well, I mean,
see where it goes.
we've got some exports playing all around the world. I mean, there's guys who are
Sure.
commanders who are playing all over, and it's only a matter of time before some of those guys start to either get good enough to come home or realize that they're already good enough and they'd like to be home. So,
And they
I look-
can represent their actual province and their city, even if well, it's Newfoundland Growlers, but you know what I mean, especially if you're from St. John's or close to it, so that your family is there. And I don't know, I'm sure they'd make it anyway, but
I mean, I look at a player
it
like
definitely makes a difference. No
you probably-
difference of the boys coming home to Toronto to play.
You probably know him, color know of him, Zach Bennett. I think he played. He's probably a little bit younger than you, but he's from out here somewhere.
Yeah.
I think
don't know that
he's
name.
involved in the breakaway hockey camp out here.
Oh, okay.
He's playing away.
That's
right?
like Dawson. Like I didn't know Dawson Mercer, but when I realized who he was and his family and stuff like that, I know of him, but he's younger than me, so I don't know him
Yeah.
personally. But could be the same situation.
Speaking of Mercer, tore it up
Mm-hmm.
in the rookie tournament for Jersey.
Did he?
Yep.
Yep.
Good. I'm
Yep.
glad. I hope he makes
He-
it this year. I was kind
I-
of disappointed he didn't last year.
There was an article in one of from one of the Jersey writers who was covering the rookie camp, and they were like, "This kid is the real deal. Just
Yeah.
I'm so
absolutely the
glad.
best player on the ice, game in, game out." And
We could
I
have
mean,
had him.
he's a workhorse. Yeah, we could have. He could have been in the Leaf.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Again, Anisimov, was it? Oh,
Who did we
Emerov.
get? No,
sorry.
Emerov. I think we got
Emerov.
that. Yeah. I mean, he's still
And
going to be great too,
love
or
Dawson
something.
Mercer.
So.
I know.
But-
Actually, that's funny. I never heard his name. His name just always disappears, and throughout this rookie
'Cause he
camp,
didn't
and
play in the rookie camp, did he?
He's not in
Emerald.
it. Yeah, he's
No,
not in it. He's
he's
injured.
not in it. So he's injured. So he's not
He's
going to come over
injured.
for.
Oh, I don't think
No,
so.
Emerov-
I'm
I
pretty
thought they
sure
were
I
waiting.
read. Yeah, he's injured. He didn't even come over.
The
I
other
thought
guy
they were waiting to
that
have him in
everyone
the
confused
development.
him with Abramov.
Abramov. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been playing.
That's probably who me and Adam have mixed them up a few times too.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
one notable name that was missing from the list when I looked anyway was Topi Niemela, the guy who won
Yeah.
the year. So I don't know where
Right.
he
What
is.
happened to him?
Don't know. I haven't took the time to look to see if he's injured or what the story was. But I mean, he's our top prospect on the blue line. He's a right-handed shot too.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
where you at, kid? Like, come on, let's get on the go here. So there's some names that are
Look
coming
that
up.
up.
Amarov, Niemela. These are all good. These are all good players, and they're going to be NHL players. That's undoubtable. Just where they fit. Liljegren, same thing. He's primed to make his debut this year, I would assume. Certainly, if there's any other players moved or stuff out of the way. But yeah. So I got something I want to flash up on the screen for you because I got the Jays game on in the background. I just want to because we got Jays are great. Gary just hit a home run, by the way.
Did he? What's the score?
I think it was 2-1 when I looked a minute ago.
Oh,
It was
good.
2-1 last
1-1
time I saw.
Yeah, it was 1. Oh, I know. I love this.
I know,
this.
right?
Josh
It's not
Donaldson.
warming.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
It is
mean,
though. Come on, MVP, and then it can be really warming.
I got
Donaldson
a Tula
is
whiskey.
one of my favorite all-time Jays, and he wasn't even there long enough to have a cup of tea. You know what I mean? But I just love
but
the
long
guy.
enough to be MVP.
Yeah, long enough to get the MVP, exactly. And when I seen them signing each other's jerseys and exchanging, man, I was like, oh man,
That's cute.
what's not to love about Toronto? Obviously, the guy's got some love for the city still.
Yeah.
And I was sad to see him go, to be honest. But
I feel like he might what if we don't? Adam saying the other day, and I was like, that's a good point because Simeon's probably going to demand a bit of money after this season.
Well, he's going to earn it.
He's right. He earned it. So like, what if we got Donaldson back? If we lose Simeon, Josh Donaldson could come back. He seems to like it here, and the fans love him. Just an idea.
See how much money he needs and who's on third.
There's a lot.
Donaldson's what, 31 now?
Yeah, I'd say. I'm not sure.
Yeah. That's the thing about baseball players hitting their prime, typically around 28, 29.
Yeah,
you got Vladdy doing it at 22 right now.
Yeah, and Bo.
Oh my. Yeah.
Bo is doing deadly too. It's crazy. Yeah. All of them are like.
It's a lot of fun to watch it.
It really is.
So I'm kind of like, I just don't want them to overlap.
Yeah.
I've been kind of like a Marner Matthews thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy 2 or 3 TVs. Yeah.
Speaking of Matthews, do we think he's going to be there on opening night?
I got my doubts. They say he can be ready, but
I feel like it's not going to be because given the timeline, it just doesn't add up.
I'll be surprised either way.
I think they said 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks, perhaps, and that was like the first week in August, second week in August, or something. So it may or may not happen. I don't want to risk it and like have him injured or something. So
no, and I want to see him have a full year with a healthy wrist. It'd be great. See what
he won the Rocket with a bone wrist. So
I see all the experts are thinking he's going to do it again. Yeah, all the experts got Matthews picked to do it back to back.
Well, in that case, he
I mean,
be awesome.
Who else is going to score more goals than Matthews right now?
That's exciting.
Oh, is that true?
Well, it's apparently still awaiting government approval.
Yeah.
But
so
if government says yes, then they are.
I find that funny for Ontario, and I think that Montreal said no, we're not doing it yet.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
so.
Really
if you're listening to the podcast, I just flashed up a picture there. It's a screenshot from today I got off the Toronto Star. It says breaking news: Toronto Maple Leafs and Toronto Raptors are planning on playing in front of full capacity crowds at Scotiabank Arena this season, and I'm here
was
for
this today?
I seen it today.
Perhaps it was finally. Oh, perhaps because I know when I was reading up on it the other day, they were still waiting like government approval. So that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, and that's going to be funny to see if it happens.
Yeah, sure. First, they announced that you will just have to have a negative COVID test. And then they changed it and it was like, nope, you must be fully vaccinated. So a lot of people are not happy with that.
No,
and you have to be fully vaccinated to even play. I've seen today that there's a player from Columbus who won't be playing because he's not vaccinated and chooses not to be. So I wonder how many more we're going to have like that. which
Oh,
it
weird
is what it
times.
is. It is, and
Weird,
we're not going to
weird
make this.
times.
We're not going to make this into politics and talk about it. But
No,
What do
yeah,
you mean
it's
politics?
definitely
We got Trudeau this morning. I
yeah.
woke up and okay, what do you have, man?
what about me running
Four
for
more
town
years.
council?
Just
Come on.
yes.
Oh yeah, when do you
Yes.
find that out?
Yes.
It's that's
Mr. Prime Minister
yeah, no, I was
of
just
North
joking.
River.
I am actually running for town council. So if
Yeah,
anybody in
that's
this
right.
town is watching our podcast, vote. No, I'm anybody
Vote
from
Gates
a small
for
town,
Yeah.
councillor.
living in a small town, 500 people or something like that, or 500 voters anyway. So no, I'm running for town council, trying to get some sports and shit on to go for the kids. So.
No, good
Yeah.
for you. As soon as I seen it, I was like, there's literally no one else who would probably do a better job. No, I mean, I don't know
Oh,
many
thank you,
people in
that's
Clark
nice.
Beach, so I'm not trying to
Clark
shame
Beach.
you.
Folk Gates.
I was
Pitter
gonna say
patter.
Clark's Beach,
Let's
North
get at her.
River,
Clark's
but
Beach.
I don't know. Sorry, I forgot
Colby
North
Mill.
River, right next to
I'm
it,
kidding, I love
but not the same thing. It's like St. John's and Mount Pearl for anybody who don't know.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, I think it'd be stupid if they didn't, considering what you've done just already.
Yeah,
Just
for
like
that
Spenders
little
Bay and
community.
Island Cove, right?
Yeah, just
Mm.
same thing.
don't mix
Just
it up.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so North River. So yeah, nice healthy pension.
Vote Gates.
Hashtag. Yeah.
Pitter patter.
No. Moving on. Habs. I know we hate them. We love to hate
Yeah.
them. But what an off season they've had. Maybe that's why I'm feeling like we didn't do much, because I'm like, holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad
Really,
I don't have to
though?
have to defend my team morally.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's Josh
That-
was saying that's enough.
yeah, it all started with their lovely, lovely draft choice.
Yeah.
And then it just went freaking downhill from there.
And don't get me wrong, it's not like I think this kid needs to be tarred and feathered and strung and dragged by
No.
horses the entire rest of his life. But you made him a first round draft pick after the kid actually said he wanted to denounce.
Yeah.
You know,
It just
don't. If
It's-
that's what you wanted, then you could have done it, and the Habs should have respected that and the whole situation, because there is a victim there in it all, and I don't
it
know.
just honestly, it does not surprise me. That's all I could say.
I'd say
about
come
it.
back next year, kid. Come back
Listen,
next year and get
This is the
draft
same
forgiveness.
team who wanted to try to get Slava Voinov back after he beat shit out of his wife, remember? Right?
I'm surprised they honestly
So-
didn't sign Tony D'Angelo. I'm really shocked they didn't.
Mm.
Rumors are they tried, but anyway.
Yeah,
and
And they were in
exactly.
the mix.
And
yeah.
let's just throw in the whole Carolina shit show in there.
Well, I mean,
Dumpster fire.
That's what we're getting to. That when I read that morning, I was at work and I'm just like boringly scrolling through Twitter. I'm like,
I
and
like
there's been an
spit out
offer
my
sheet for-
drink.
I was, and my eyes came. I was like, what? I was like, oh, Don, you bad man. You bad,
Yeah.
bad man. And I looked at him, I was like, oh
Shocking.
my
So
God,
funny, though.
6.1. They're going to pay him more than he's worth. He knows he's not worth that. Carolina knows he's not worth that. Montreal can't afford it. They're only doing a 1-year term. They'll hold his rates after this year. Oh my God, this is genius.
What? Yeah, it is. Though. And then that,
Yeah,
that
it's a
signing
wild scene, that
bonus.
is.
That
No,
20
signing
bucks.
bonus.
Hilarious, $20. Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. No,
Like I said,
Looks
it was-
good on you, Bergevin. Looks good
So,
on you, boy.
how do we feel about basically swapping Cockney
But then
in
again,
for Christian
who did he
Dvorak?
get? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he
Dvorak.
went ahead and got Dvorak right after it. So with his compensation for
Which-
Kotkaniemi.
Which I will say, I don't know much
But
about this
Connett
Dvorak
did work
kid.
out for him, I think. Dvorak
kinda
is really
did.
good.
I did read on Twitter that apparently I read one Habs fan say he has a better shot than Matthews. And I read another Habs fan say that in junior, he actually was better than Mitch Marner. And which someone even had a lovely screenshot showing that he did have more points than Mitch Marner. So, I mean, geez, they're going for the cup.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that
mean,
with a serious
I
face.
Ooh.
I seen the same thing, Scarlett, and I was like, you know what? This kid has got a better shot than Matthews and more points than Marner.
Jeez, they got McDavid.
Why wouldn't you
I
give up a
know.
first round pick for him? I mean, it's yeah. Anyway, I was like, I read
mean-
all the same things. I mean,
Right.
I'm as diluted a fan as anyone when it comes to my own team. But I mean, come on, boys. Like seriously,
Yeah, like
he had more
literally.
points than Marner, but he was on Marner's line with
Yeah. I
Matthews
wonder who
shot.
got who gave him all those passes there, bud.
yeah.
And they got to go
Marner
back to
and
London
Tkachuk.
these days.
Mm.
Yeah.
What have you
But
done
yet,
since?
and then what? Go look and see what pick Christian Dvorak was that year. I believe he was second round or something. But yet he's better than Marner.
Mm.
Was it second round?
I don't know if it was second round. I know he was not like top. Let me go double check. NHL 58th overall.
58th.
Mid second round.
So second round, baby.
Yeah, and but that was the thing. That was the knock on him, was that he was a player that sat between two superstars in Matthew Tkachuk and Mitch Marner. So you know, it's very much that John Tavares syndrome, where if you play with John Tavares, you automatically get better. He made Kyle Okposo a millionaire. He made Matt Molson a millionaire. List goes on. PA Parento. These were all guys who John Tavares made look amazing.
Yep.
I mean, there's no different than him and Mitch Marner. Like Mitch Marner is the same way. Whoever plays on his line, or even look at, Connor McDavid. Anybody who plays with a superstar is going to get points.
Right.
Freaking Tyson Barrie got 2 goals with us, and he plays with Connor McDavid.
I know Zach Hyman's
and he's
not
like
good next to McDavid.
He's gonna be. It's gonna be nuts. I mean,
gonna be really.
I
good,
wish him the best. I really do.
I do too.
At the end of the day, they're a Canadian team, and I'm a McDavid fan. I like him.
Listen. Zach Hyman didn't know anything in Toronto.
No. And I am very surprised he ended up having to leave. I really am. But I guess he knows what he was worth. But I still don't think he was worth what they paid him. Not at his age, not with his injuries, not with. But
that's just a.
No, I
for 7 years, like.
I don't know.
Very
to be
big
honest,
contract.
I liked the deal. I was like, you know what,
Did you?
5.6. Well, I mean, look what we're paying Nylander. Now, tell me who's the more impactful player to your team, William Nylander or Zach Hyman? Which one is more impactful?
Okay, let me say this.
But who's the better player or not?
But let me say this: Zach Hyman was honestly nobody until like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Like, I mean, he was Zach Hyman, but what was he? Third line, fourth line? It's only whatever come over him the last couple of seasons, and you could say it's playing with Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews.
Let me put it
to the first 2 years, everybody hates that Hyman was playing with Matthews. They said it was the worst thing in the world.
Exactly. And now all of a sudden he's worth $6 million, $7 million.
So this can be a Ryan Gates quote. Okay. I didn't read this anywhere. This is going to be,
okay.
Original thought.
Yeah, get the things going.
My original thought. Okay. William Nylander has had to prove everybody that people were right about him. Zach Hyman has had to prove everybody wrong. Okay. That's the difference. So Zach Hyman was no good. He was a waste. He was traded from the Panthers to the Leafs for Greg McKegg, right? Who the hell is Greg McKegg? So he's proven everybody wrong, but Nylander's on a mission to try and prove people right that he's actually good, right? Yeah. So, and I'm not. Listen, this is no knock on Willie. Willie's one of my favorite players in the universe. Okay, I love the kid. I'm not a Nylander but Zach Hyman, man. Remember when they were talking about should he have a look at Team Canada? I'm like, yeah, he's that kind of good, right?
I know, but he's what, 30?
He's 29, turned 30.
29. Turned 30 this year. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was my age or year.
A couple big injuries.
Right, and
but also
he got 2 bum knees.
Most fit on the team, though. He also
he's
won
a
the training.
Workhorse. He's a workhorse.
He beat Rich Clune.
Yeah, who's another workhorse.
But
I mean,
the best,
I don't knock it on him. Like, he is definitely worth his contract. I just don't believe he's worth that contract for that amount of time. Because at the end of the day, he's 37 or something, or 36 by the time it's up.
Yeah. My only thought with that is by the time he's 36, a $5.5 million contract is going to be like what Fort Liners are making anyway. You know what I mean, we have a 37-year-old in Spezza who makes league minimum. So
that's his choice. Yeah.
Well, it's true. That's true. But he's no doubt like worth more than that. But I mean, there's a lot of, sides to it. I guess the way you look at it.
That's true.
That's just my opinion on it. And I feel the same way with John Tavares.
Now, if he went to the GMs and said, if Dubas called up Holland today, said, hey, I call him on Hyman back, I'll give it Nylander. I mean, he's going to jump on top of it.
Right? Exactly. Would you?
I mean,
how would you feel if you woke up tomorrow and seen it? We traded Nylander to get Hyman back.
Now, some people would be happy just because they don't like it, just personal reasons.
You know what? Did you guys read the story in The Athletic? I don't know because you have to subscribe to it, but there was a thing about a week ago, I think Myrtle wrote, and he had asked a bunch of questions to Leaf fans, and then he had the results. Did you read that?
Oh, I didn't get to, but I did submit a question.
Go read it because it actually was super interesting to see what a lot of people were thinking. But Nylander is one of the most popular people that came out of that. Like
I guess
the
of all
the
people that are
most
willing to
hated or
spend money
whatever is now Marner.
on a subs-
All the
Yeah.
people who hated Nylander now hate Marner, and now Nylander's a god again.
Imagine hating the
Essentially.
player who's led the team in scoring ever since he was a rookie. Imagine. Leafs
know,
fans needs their heads checked, man. Like, I mean, to try, like, I mean, it's one thing to run a Kadri out of town. It's one thing to run a Jake
Yeah.
Gardiner out of town.
They're
He's-
running him out if they don't stop.
He's going down as one of the best Leafs in history if he keeps
He
on.
will be.
Even if he doesn't keep on his trajectory he's on. If he keeps on his trajectory he's on, he's going to be like top 5 ever, right? Ever to play for the franchise ever, right?
Yep.
Like, and
Don't
people are
speak
like,
those
"Oh,
words.
this guy got to go. We should trade Marner." Are you out of your mind? You got one of
He
the
doesn't
best.
care, Ryan.
Did Washington
doesn't
trade
care.
Ovi? Like his first couple of years? Did I don't know, Shabuka McDavid? He haven't won nothing yet either. And you're going to tell me that Edmonton, I
trophies.
would not be surprised what Holland would do. But I mean, anyone in their right sounding mind would never trade McDavid. And it's, to me, it sounds just as absurd to say to trade Marner.
Yeah, I can't even. I'll ruin the show if we start talking about trading Marner. I will.
I know.
I know.
It'll go to a bad place.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
dark spot.
Because I feel the same way.
No one.
No
needs
doubt.
Marner.
I
If
was
you ask
pissed
these
at him
people-
after that.
If you ask the people that want him out, why? It's going to be the accusation of he doesn't care. They don't try hard enough.
Marner
They haven't
tries.
figured it out yet.
Don't go in
Marner's
the
trouble.
corners.
They haven't figured it out yet. It's fine.
We're
There you
good.
go.
Best
We'll
playmaker
get
in the
it.
game and the best goal scorer in the game are on the same line. So I got one last thing here before we close this out because it's great to see you guys again, by the way, because I've missed you guys.
Oh yeah, it's
Same.
good.
Ditto.
But
It's getting cold out. We're going to come inside and do podcasts.
Yeah.
I got one more thing that I'm going to flash up there and let's discuss. Okay.
So,
Oh gosh.
oh, the
Ugh.
PK Subban.
No.
Okay,
Listen.
Subban and Leafs.
My
I'm not-
eyes.
I'm not opposed to anything, as
There-
long as
Okay,
I
whose
guess-
spot does he take?
Anyone's.
Listen, the Leafs have
who
taken
would-
how many misfits?
I
now?
mean, Riley can go at this point.
At
I
the
mean,
end.
I was always a huge Morgan Riley fan. However,
If you gotta go, we gotta go.
I feel like we need a shakeup.
The Leafs
and
are doing
that
really
could be
well
it.
picking up the misfits and getting them back on track to something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's
It
what PK
just-
wants to be, to get back to what he's capable of doing, then yeah, let's go.
Maybe.
I'd have no
But
issue
this-
with it. The money is the big issue, and that's what they're talking about is how much salary Jersey would have to eat to make it possible, and what kind of compensation the Leafs would have to provide for said salary. But man, I mean, because obviously he's got no place on that team where it is right now with the rebuild that's ongoing. You know, they
No.
got the Hughes boys there now. Like I said, I mean,
How
He's
much
had a
is he signed
significant
to?
decline. He's still on the
What's
9
his-
mil.
yeah, something
Yeah,
like
what's
that.
his contract? PK.
He's still back with
I
the
mean,
Weber deal.
Can I ask you guys this, because I honestly don't know, but does he not have the reputation of like cancer in the dressing room or something?
Yeah,
Or is
that-
that
well,
It has a very long
what
time ago
is-
before
yeah,
Nashville.
okay, so that's what I was wondering. Or was that from, I thought that was like a Montreal thing too,
It was, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, they
Before
kind of ran
Nashville.
him out of town in Montreal. We won't
he's-
Big
speak on
personalities.
why, but-
He likes the spotlight, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering. Like, do we need that? I mean, Toronto's probably the best place for him, in all honesty, if he
I don't know.
wants
That'd be some
that.
pretty deep negative hate going on from the Leafs Nation that I
Yeah,
wouldn't
he's
want to see.
32. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It'd have to be cheap and it'd have to be short term.
Yeah, I
agree,
mean, and
100%.
at the end of the day, but who's going to lose a spot? I really want Sandine to come up. Like, I don't. That's why I don't really feel excited about PK, because I don't want
Well, I
someone
mean-
to take Sandine's spot.
It would have to be Justin Hall or Travis Dermott at the lineup, clearly.
Well, I mean, Hull can't leave Muzzin.
I feel like
I don't think.
Dermott would be the odd man out, maybe. He probably
It seems like he's barely clinging right now as it is. I mean, he keeps
Mhm.
signing these. I mean, Travis Dermott should have, at this point in his career, really should have taken the next step, and he's kind of just
I
stayed.
don't know, was he
very much-
25?
He's 25 or 26, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's still lots of time, and I think there's a lot of value if you need to trade him. I think teams would take a chance on that from him because
He's
actually
a good
is
little
good-
player. He's 24 actually. He'll
24,
be
so
25 this
listen,
year. He'll
He's
be
got about a
25 this
few.
year.
He's got a
Really?
few years before he even matures.
he's
So
gonna be on-
that is attractive on the trade
Oh.
market.
I think Hull is older than him though.
Yeah, no,
He is.
Hall's like
Hall's-
28.
Yeah,
But they both came up through it together.
Yeah,
Or,
well,
you know
they
what I
wa-
mean?
they
Yeah,
wanna-
he's 29 actually.
They want to
Yeah.
call
His
the cup
birthday's
together. Played on the
January.
same line, I think. Actually, the same pair.
Probably. I just remember those first games. They both had a goal.
Yeah. Back to that again. Well, that was like episode number 2 of
Yeah,
Enjoy
yeah, we're
Soccer.
going full circle here now.
You know what? It's funny
Yeah.
because I do a lot of driving with work back and forth to town, and I did over the summer go back and listen to some of our podcasts. And while
Yeah.
we've gotten much better, the original ones still weren't that bad. I really,
No?
I actually enjoyed the content. I enjoyed some of how wrong we were too, man. We got to do the same thing again this year. We got,
I
you know,
know.
Oh, yeah.
pre-season. Let's call ourselves out. Let's put our hockey knowledge to the test and prove how stupid we are.
Okay.
Some of the stuff that we said there in episode 1 or 2, whatever it was, I think it was probably, well,
That
episode
was the
2 was like
one.
Joe Bowen. Like,
Yeah, episode 1 was the one that we were just like, we fluked it, and then you
first time ever
uploaded it.
Going on
Even-
Zoom and talking to you guys.
Yeah, ever. First time I ever met Chad, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Besides like
yeah.
Facebook comments.
Random, yeah. Yeah. Weird.
And I think
But-
I did pick Ottawa to be the dark horse that night. I do think that was a pretty solid pick because
You
they
did.
came back and
me and Carly
I
picked Calgary to make the playoffs. So and Vancouver. My pick was Vancouver. So
we were
I couldn't-
completely wrong.
I couldn't have been.
and I looked like the wacko saying Ottawa said they have such a weird group. If they click, look out.
I feel like this year could be it for them.
Well, if Brady Tkachuk ever signs a deal, and it's not going to be easy.
I think after Kirill Kaprizov signing today, I feel like a lot of them
Yeah.
are waiting for that, perhaps, even though it's not going to help anybody or any teams, I should say, because he's
Dominoes,
like
dominoes.
quite a nice contract.
But Tkachuk's a captain, ain't
Is he
Yeah.
get- we're in the sea? I have no idea.
he? Yeah, I think so.
No, I feel like, is he? Why do I feel like it's not him? Maybe it is him. I don't know.
He's going to get paid. Whoa.
I was thinking it was Batherson or someone.
No,
It's
they
not
didn't have a
him.
captain last year. They did the same.
Maybe they
thing.
didn't.
Carried four alternates. I'm pretty sure.
I bet he's going to be it though. I think it's
To
obvious.
me, it's
It's
heart and
un-
soul. Yeah,
That's Shabbat. That's Shabbat.
Yeah,
Gives him a run.
Shabbat maybe.
can't see it. To me,
But
it's Tkachuk
no.
all day long.
It's got to be Tkachuk.
Heart and soul, man. Heart and soul.
I think he's better than Matthew.
I think, man,
definitely.
did I think so too. I think he's a better
Mhm.
team player. But if there's one thing we learned from our own misery playoff experience is just how important the captain is to the team. And the loss of John Tavares, I think
Mhm.
everyone who kind of looked at John Tavares as our second line center will look at him much differently this year because he's still our second line center. That's not disputed. But he's also our team captain, and he's doing guiding the ship and keeping everybody on track. So,
Wendell Clark played on the third line, dude,
Right?
mm,
Don't matter.
and he was
I mean,
all impact every time he was on the ice, though.
yeah.
So it's not about the top minutes.
and it's
That's
not about
evils.
not just losing our captain, but it's the way that they did. It was traumatic.
your
I
leader.
mean, it was
That's your-
traumatic on TV. You can imagine what it was like in that quiet
It's
stadium.
the guy leading the charge.
And I mean, John seems pretty quiet and like reserved, but I can bet you in that locker room, and we're going to see a lot of that when we get that Amazon thing next week. But I feel like he's probably much more of a voice than what we even realize he is.
So who's primed for the Amazon thing? I
I'm-
thought I wasn't going to watch it 2 months ago. I'm like,
No,
no,
I've been watching every promo. I can't wait.
I know.
Yeah, I can't wait for it, but I got to remember it's a show and not a documentary.
Yeah. But I
So
mean, at
it's
the
going
end
to
of the
it's not going to
day-
be as honest as we would all like, but it is going to be cool.
Did you see Sid's post or tweet about it?
No.
He said he was lucky enough to get to see the first couple episodes, and he said it's much more. What did he say? Sorry, I gotta go look at it because I don't want to misquote him.
Say revealing. Please say revealing. I need revealing.
Yeah, it was essentially. I just want to get the word he used. Hold on, sorry. Sid, not aid. My good typing skills.
Because every year they have like Beyond the Leaf and
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they have
that's
all
always me.
yeah.
Anyway, right? Where is it?
Well, Amazon's been
Okay,
doing
here it is.
terrible.
I was given the opportunity to watch the first few episodes of All or Nothing on Amazon Prime. Can't say much, but I can tell you this. I was not expecting that level of behind the scenes access. Whether you love or hate the Leafs, this is an absolute must watch.
Ugh.
I know. I can't wait. And
Yeah,
I
I've
have
seen 'em too.
Prime, so I'm like,
Yes.
what day is that? Is that what is October 1st?
We just canceled our Prime. I'm gonna have to get it back for.
Oh, I'll give you my login.
Used to see the
Oh,
show.
sorry. Don't anybody tell on Amazon. Tell Amazon on me, for Christ's sake. I
But
I
the
owe
thing,
them money.
actually,
They are the
this
best.
is, but Amazon doesn't work the same
It's
as like
Friday.
Netflix, because if you give him your login for Amazon Prime, he
Oh,
can just
it
go
won't
buy
work.
your. No, he
Yeah,
can just go into your Amazon account and start
You
spending
get
money.
that Jason Betsa stick that I've been eyeing for 2 months.
Yeah, no, right?
on Amazon?
No, probably not.
I was gonna say that's definitely not on Amazon.
Plus, I'm not buying anything that's not from PHG. Got too good a service, and they got too much cool stuff. So, yeah, that's,
Right.
that's a plug for our spot.
Yeah, good job.
If you've enjoyed what you listened to, by all means, check us out on facebook.com/DeekSnipesLA. That's our major outlet for everything we're doing, our memes, our articles, everything's going there. Also, don't forget, we've got a line of swag out, and we've actually had a couple orders over the summer, small stuff, some t-shirts and whatnot. All kinds of stuff there.
I have.
Shirts.
Yes, you got
hats.
my hat.
Yeah, I
Yes.
do have your hat.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to get a hat.
A hat. Oh, a ball cap.
Like
As
a ball
opposed
cap,
to
yeah.
a hat.
I
got
just
a-
find that the toque is like short on my head.
I got an order
Ah.
going in now in the next. I got some stuff I got to get printed for some guests that we had on, so there's gonna be some printed stuff coming
Right.
out very soon. But yeah, check us out on Twitter @SillyDeek, on what's our other platform? Oh yeah, www.deeksnipesily.ca, which is finally, after all these years, I updated over the summer. It's now up to date to episode 25, and I plan to. It's my promise to you
Attaboy.
folks. It'll be kept up to date. So everything that we do is also on deeksnipesily.ca. If you're checking out our audio podcast, seems like we're getting a ton of people picked up through Spotify and iHeartRadio, but also
Awesome.
Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Puppy Podcasts, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. it'd be
Oh
fun.
yeah, one last thing. If you're watching our video podcast on YouTube, because YouTube is our platform for the video,
Mhm.
make sure to hit that subscribe button there between me and Kylie. And yeah, give us some likes, comments, shares, all that stuff you're supposed to do when you like people. And you all like us. You wouldn't have made it this far in the podcast. So have a good one, guys. Peace out.
Cheers.